Welcome back, guys, for more Homecoming Morenatsu Revisited. So, honestly, I'm so ready for the beach event. It's been kind of more, not really hyped up, but like I've been hearing a lot of updates about the beach event. So, this is what we're gonna jump into today. So, let's, I'm just gonna not gonna bother with the with extending the intro. Just gonna jump right in. So, can't wait. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that this. I used to have a file here. Whoops. Woo! It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's so clear too. I can see little fish swimming around. That's good. It's less crowded than we thought it would be. It's pretty inconvenient. It's a pretty inconvenient drive, to be fair. I guess it's a well-kept secret for those in the know, huh? There's a lot of stores here, too. It's quiet here. Did you remember to pack your honey? Keep talking. Did I hurt your feet? Ah! Oh, I got sand in my mouth. At least it wasn't solid ground. Alright, we should go change. I wonder what everybody's doing. Shaking my head, I give a happy sigh as I close my eyes and let the sea breeze pass over me. For now, I just want to enjoy this feeling. From nearby, I can hear the sounds of children laughing. It's my turn! My eyes open once again. I shift my attention to where Tatsuki's unmistakable voice calls out from. Not too far away, I can see what looks like an old hut. Realizing it must be where people change, I give a shrug and slowly start walking over to it. As I stop in front of the hut, I frown, noticing that the door is locked. Guess I'll have to wait my turn. Perfect! My eyes widen in shock at the sight before me. With a gulp, I curl my tail around myself to hide the obvious problem that has just sprung up. Oh, hey, Hiroyuki. The dragon smiles down at me, completely oblivious to my discomfort. What are you wearing? Raising an eyebrow, he gives a nonchalant shrug. Fundoshi. That's the perfect thing to wear to the beach. Don't you think? I know my face is starting to warm up as I try to come up with a coherent response. What am I gonna say? Is there a problem here? I snap out of my stupor as Kyoji approaches. He's already in his swimwear and giving me an amused smile. Before he can reach me, the Labrador suddenly stops, having noticed the dragon in his choice of swimwear. Kyoji furrows his brow and as he stares up at Tatsuki. Really, big guy? You're gonna be wearing that? Yes. The canine shakes his head and steps between Tatsuki and I, his posture not unlike that of a father reprimanding his child. I don't think that's a good idea. If you haven't already noticed, we're not the only people at this beach. There are families here too. Do you really think they will appreciate their children seeing a grown man running around in a fundoshi? The dragon opens his mouth as if he were about to protest before sighing and hanging his head. He reaches a hand up and scratches the side of his face. I didn't think of that. But... The defeated look on Tatsuki's face is a bit hard to behold. With a sigh of resignation, he holds up his bag. I suppose I can always wear something else. I don't know why, but I can't help feeling disappointed. As surprising as it is to see Tatsuki wearing a fudoshi, I feel like it suits him. The dragon reaches into his bag and pulls out a Speedo with a familiar design. I suppose that will be adequate. With a shrug, Tatsuki heads back into the changing hut. After a few moments, the door opens, and suddenly, I'm not feeling so disappointed. I just find it funny because it's like, the fundoshi was inappropriate, but like, the Speedo though. Like, what? Anyways, the dragon exits the hut, his face a slight shade of red. The exasperated expression on Kyoji's face fades. Well, I suppose it's a start. This is one of Tora's spares. He gave it to me a while back. It takes all of my willpower to fight back the blush that threatens to show up on my face. This Speedo barely fits. I can easily make out the outline of his package. Get a grip, hero. This is your friend you're ogling. It'll have to do. Tatsuki gives a sheepish nod and walks away, leaving me alone with Kyoji. I stand motionless as I watch the dragon retreat. So, Hiroyuki, are you just gonna stand there all day, or are you going to change? I jolt as Kyoji speaks to me, his tone of voice clearly teasing me. This time, my face goes red, and I race into the hut, closing the door behind me. I may usually have trouble telling with him, but this time I'm certain he winked at me. Once inside, I slowly undress, giving a sigh of relief as my previous problem seems to have taken care of itself. Opening my bag, I bring out my swim trunks. My apologies, I'm a little tired tonight, as you can see, and change into them. I exhale loudly as I put my street clothes into a bag and zip it up. I really don't know what came over me, but I decided that it would be best to pretend it didn't happen. Just act normal, Hiroyuki. Get your hormones in check. There. That should do it. Now that I'm dressed appropriately for the beach, I open the door and exit the changing hut. Kyoji's nowhere to be seen as I walk out into the sunlight. That'd be right. I half-heartedly grumble under my breath. But as I walk up the beach, I can see that Juichi has set up some parasols. Underneath one of them, everyone has placed their bags. With a smile, I jog over to the pile and add my own bag to it before glancing around the beach. Wonder where Tatsuki went. I can see my friends scattered about, all doing their own thing. Shin is sitting under a parasol, nose buried in a book. Kyoji and Taro are exercising by the shore. Oh, there he is. I spot the dragon in the distance and decide to join him. Before I can reach him, I see him pull a bottle out of his bag. From this distance, I was not able to see the label, but I get a bad feeling. Tatsuki, is that Hiroyuki? I frown as I approach, staring at the bottle he's holding. As I get close enough to read the label, I can't help but shake my head. Sure enough, it's sake. Yep, it's one of my favorite brands. He smiles happily as he speaks before opening the bottle. The dragon holds the bottle out toward me in an offering gesture. Do you want some, Hiroyuki? I grimace and shake my head vigorously, glaring at the bottle in contempt. No thanks. Tatsuki simply shrugs and lifts the bottle to his mouth, taking a long gulp. Finally, he pulls the bottle away and gives a happy sigh. Oh, yeah. That hits the spot. Taking a deep breath, only for the bottle to be snatched away from his hand. As if out of nowhere, Juichi steps out from behind Tatsuki. Clutched in his hand is the bottle of sake he just confiscated. Juichi has always looked gruff, but right now, the look on his face is one of utter annoyance. What do you think you're doing? Before Tatsuki can open his mouth to make a protest, the bear points over to a nearby sign. As the dragon turns his attention toward it, my curiosity gets the better of me, and I look as well. Oh. The sign contains a warning notice that is printed in big, bold text. The consumption of alcohol on this beach is prohibited. Violators are subjected to removal from the beach and may face fines and or prosecution. Do you want to get us all in trouble, Tatsuki? No. I can't help but feel a little bad for Tatsuki as he sheepishly mumbles a response. Juichi gives a shake of his head and stares at the bottle. I hope you understand that I will have to dispose of this. The dragon nods and sighs in resignation, rubbing the back of his head. Glancing over at me, the bear nods before walking away to find a trash can. There goes 1,500 yen. With a sigh, I sit down on the sand, the dragon hesitantly sitting down beside me. After sitting together in silence for a while, Tatsuki lets out a soft sigh. I'm bored. Can't say I blame him. The sun's already shining brightly in the sky and we're just sitting here doing nothing. I'm open to suggestions. The dragon rubs the back of his head as he thinks of an idea. Well, how about we go for a swim? We are at the beach after all. A smile breaks out across my face as I stand up, brushing sand from my fur. That's a great idea, Tatsuki. Although I'm still not a strong swimmer, still can't help but feel eager. My tail swishing behind me. I take off for the shoreline, Tatsuki following close behind. Only to come to a stop a few moments later. Come on, man. I want to see which one of us is the better swimmer. Bah. I glance over at Tatsuki, and the dragon stares back at me. I wonder what's going on. I don't know, but Taro looks uncomfortable. Maybe we should help? As we make our way towards them, Torihiko suddenly notices us. Yuki! Tatsuki! Help a guy out here. The tiger calls out to us and gestures for us to approach him and Taro. My apologies, I'm just very tired tonight. Tatsuki and I shrug at one another and walk over to the others. What do you need? I want to race with Sataro, to see who's the fastest swimmer. I stare at the lion, who simply glances back at me warily. Looks like he'd rather be anywhere but here right now. He's great at soccer, but I know I'm the fastest swimmer in our group. Like hell you are! I snap my attention back over to Tatsuki as he lets out a loud roar. The dragon's eyes are narrowed as he moves closer to Torihiko. If I didn't know him so well, I'd be worried. But Tatsuki's outbursts are usually just for show. If anyone's the fastest swimmer, it's me. As if. You've got nothing on me, you big lug. Bah! The two of them continue their back and forth. I turn my attention to Taro. Only to find that the lion is no longer beside me. I widen my eyes, ignoring my two bickering friends as I try to spot him. In the distance, I see that Taro has caught up with Kyoji, the two of them seeming to have a discussion. I know he was fast, but what do you think he... I just made him sound like the Cookie Monster for a second there. What do you think here, Yuki? What? I turn my head back to face Tatsuki as I hear my name, my eyes blinking in confusion. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. My two friends stare at me intently. I curl my tail around myself in embarrassment. Tatsuki asked who you thought would be faster. Him, Sataro, or me? I pause for a moment, glancing back between the two of them. Well, while you two were arguing, Taro decided to hang out with Kyoji. So I guess I have to choose between you two. Tatsuki and Tora both widen their eyes in shock. He what? Well, there goes that idea. The dragon suddenly seems to come up with an idea. A smile returning to his face. Well, how about you here, Yuki? How fast can you swim? Huh? Torihiko raises an eyebrow with interest, causing me to gulp and rub the back of my head nervously. Well, I'm okay at it, but... I pause, not really wanting to admit that I'm not that strong a swimmer. Tatsuki turns his attention back to Tora and grins. I'm willing to bet that Hiroyuki is faster than you. Oh, is that a challenge? I don't know why I made him sound different either. Oh, is that a challenge? Well, maybe you should put your money where your mouth is. Tora smirks before pointing out towards the I'm not good at words. I'm so sorry. In the distance. First one to reach the... Alright, I'm not very smart, okay? Out there wins. You're on. You're on. Loser buys others an ice cream. Oh, I like the sound of that. Well then, 3 of us should get ready. Did you just say the 3 of us? Oh, wait, I'm in this? I curl my tail around myself and glance nervously at my friends. I don't know. Hey, don't give me that look. I didn't agree to be part of this. The shocked expression fades from his face as the tiger places a hand over it. What are you saying? The sly grin returns to his face. I don't like the look of this. Of course you did. But I didn't... Gah, tiger mind games. I should have expected this. Hey! Don't you think that you could just walk away from this, Hiroyuki? Yeah, don't be such a stick in the mud. Weakling. Softy. Ugh. What is this? Pick on the fox day? I rub the back of my head and give an annoyed grumble. Okay, fine. I'll play 2. Happy? That's the Hiroyuki I know. You never back down from a challenge. Give him a good-natured glare. Don't make me regret this. Well then, let's make it more interesting. How about punishment game? On top of buying everyone else an ice cream, the loser has to get buried in the sand. Torihiko's eyes get wide with excitement, and he flicks his tail behind him. Dude, that's... No! I interrupt the tiger before he can finish his sentence. As he stares at me with wide eyes, I shake my head and give him an icy stare. If that's what you want to do, then leave me out of it. The 2 of them look at each other before giving a sigh of resignation. Fine. No punishment game, but ice cream for the winner should be good enough. I can live with that. I reach my hand up and massage the bridge of my nose, but simply nod. Well then. Ready? With a heavy sigh, I move beside them both and prepare to face the inevitable. Set? I cast a quick glance over at the lion and take a deep breath. Go! 3 of us jump into the water, making our way toward the... I don't know words. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not smart. As expected, I'm not doing very well. Hiroyuki loses. I'll have cherry flavor if you don't mind. Oh, I want plum. Unsurprisingly, I lost. Why do I get the feeling I got suckered into this so they could have free ice cream? That wasn't even a fair competition. You're both way better at swimming than I am. No whining. You lost. Now pay up. It's not my fault you don't practice. Look, your fur isn't even that thick either. You should be gliding across the water like me. Tatsuki, you're forgetting something. Hmm? I point at his tail as it gently wobbles below the surface. Oh, well, I guess having a tail like mine helps. Can get a nice boost of speed by swinging it back and forth like a propeller. You look like a crocodile when you swim, Tatsuki. Who are you calling a crocodile? Gah! Tatsuki grabs Tora by the shoulders and pushes him underwater. Air bubbles begin to surface where his head was seconds earlier. Okay, I'll just leave you two alone now. Say you're sorry, fuzzy butt. I changed my mind, hero. I'll have melon flavor instead. But alright, melon flavor and cherry flavor. I'm on it. I hear my wallet cry out in my head. I think I prefer that sound to the idea of being held underwater, though. Whoa! I turn back and see Tora gasping for air. Wait up, Yuki. Where are you going? You know exactly where I'm going. Hold on, there's no use in wasting a trip back like that. Let's play again. Last one to the beach is a loser. Double or nothing. Huh. If I'm lucky, I might not have to buy these two ice cream after all. You know what, Tora? You're on. This time I'm ready. You think I'm a crocodile now? Wait until you see my special underwater technique. Let's go! Before I can react, Tatsuki's already underwater, swimming toward the beach. Hey, no fair! Oh, no you don't. Think you can get a head start on me, do you? Tora darts off like a torpedo off for the beach. Well, I'm probably screwed again. Might as well give it a shot. Huh? There's something floating in the water. Looks like a long blue piece of fabric. It's Tatsuki's Speedo. My face goes red and I can feel the problem from earlier returning. Oh, this is bad. You're falling behind, Yuki! Coming! I grab the wayward article of clothing and make my way toward the beach. I see Tatsuki surface a bit in front of me for some air. Tatsuki, hold on! Is this a contest, Hiroyuki? I'm not that gullible. Your little trick isn't gonna work on me. See you at the finish line. Tatsuki, your Speedo fell off. As the dragon swims towards the shore, I breathe a sigh of relief as I realize he's wearing his fundoshi. But Kyoji told him to change. Can't help but chuckle and shake my head. He must have put the Speedo over it. Huh. Well, with a gulp, I continue to swim back to the shore, using steady strokes. When I finally arrive back at the shore, I already know what Tatsuki has realized his predicament. Standing there in his fundoshi, the dragon looks at me sheepishly as I walk up to him and thrust the Speedo into his hands. Torihiko, on the other hand, gives the dragon a sly wink, only causing the blush on his face to intensify. He quickly puts the Speedo On top, he quickly puts the Speedo on over the top of his Fundoshi and glances around nervously. Please, don't tell Kyoji what happened. Don't worry. It happens, but yeah, I'll keep it a secret. I uncurl my tail from around myself. Thankfully, have hidden my problem long enough for it to be resolved. Forcing a grin onto my face, I nod at the dragon and lean back, resting my arms behind my head. Same goes for me. In the end, I'm forced to make good on my bet. Soon enough, I return with my friends with their spoils of war. We spend the rest of our beach adventure just hanging out and talking about how much fun we had. Whew, I'm tired. I glance around at the bus, only to notice that almost everyone is asleep. It's been a long time since we last went out like this. Sachiko. I turn back in my seat and stare at Tatsuki. Smile coming to my face when I see him sleeping. Sachiko, is the dashi for father's meal done? There's dust collecting on the windowsill. Are you cleaning well enough? Grow! Like you said, people are truly... Shaking my head in amusement, I sit back on my seat. Seriously? Who the hell is Sachiko? A soft tapping noise suddenly catches my attention, and I look around in an attempt to find it. Sure enough, it's Shun, tapping away on his portable game console. Of course he'd bring that. I'm unable to fight back a yawn as I stretch my limbs. Maybe I should take a nap too. I too am yawning. As if reading my mind, I see Shun turn around in his seat. He stares at me and nods his head. With a smile, he turns back around and settles in his seat. And after a moment, he's back to tapping on his game. Outside the window, everything is dyed red by the setting sun. The sea, the mountains, the sky. It almost feels like I'm in a different world. I lean my head against the window and join my friends. Z. Nice. Honestly, I thought the beach event was actually going to be a little bit longer than expected, but I can't really complain. I give another stretch in my chair as I try to make myself comfortable. As I feel another spasm on my back, I hear the unmistakable sound of my grandfather's laughter. It looks like you're... I'm trying to remember what I did for his voice. It looks like you're feeling the reward from a good day out. My cheeks go hot as I... It sounded like Tatsuki. I forgot what I did for the grandfather's voice. My apologies. My cheeks go hot as I return to eating my breakfast, while Grandma gives him a good-natured glare. I'm glad to hear that you had fun, dear. Sounds like everything went great. With a chuckle, I rub the back of my head and nod. Yeah, but now I'm wondering if I should do anything today. My grandparents look at each other, and for a moment, I see what looks like a grin from both of them. As a matter of fact, I hear the bookstore is getting a new shipment today. If memory serves, you are quite the young bookworm. Once again, my cheeks burn, and I turn away in embarrassment, earning a chuckle from both my grandparents. Oh, it's nothing to be ashamed of, dear. Do you remember the stories I used to read to you when you were younger? Feelings of nostalgia once again flashed through my mind. With a smile, I nod in response. Yeah, I love those stories. I remember wanting to be just like some of the characters. Grandma smiles at me as Grandpa stands up and slowly makes his way to the living room. She gives an amused sigh as she looks over at the table where he was sitting. As usual, your grandfather leaves his dishes behind. Just as I offer her a grin, I suddenly jump as I hear the unmistakable sound of the phone ringing. Before Grandma can stand up, I'm already on my feet and moving towards the phone. Hello, Nishimura residence. This is Hiroyuki speaking. Hi, Yuki. A grin comes to my face as I hear the familiar voice from the other end of the line. It's a voice I've grown all too accustomed to hearing lately. Hey, Tora. I hope I didn't interrupt anything. I shake my head even though he can't see me. Nope, just having breakfast with my grandparents. At least you didn't yell as loudly this morning. I can almost see the embarrassed smile on his face as the tiger pauses and takes a deep breath. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to know if you want to come hang out at my place around lunchtime. I pause for a moment and weigh up my options. You know what? I want to hang out with Tora. Why not? That sounds great, Tora. Looking forward to it. From the other end of the line, I can hear the tiger breathe a sigh of relief. Me too. I'll let you get back to breakfast. Don't forget, okay? I can't help but chuckle and shake my head in amusement. Okay, Tora. I'll see you then. Awesome. See you then. Bye. I chuckle again as the tiger hurriedly hangs up the phone. He sounds excited. I wonder what he has planned. My tail swishing behind me. I replace the receiver and head back to the dining area. Torihiko again? As I sit back at the table, I nod in response to my grandmother's question. I glance over at her and smile. He wants me to visit him at around lunchtime. He didn't mention what he wanted, but I said I'd go. Oh, that boy. My mouth full of food, I decided to just glance at Grandma and raise an eyebrow. She chuckles and she shakes her head, her tail swishing behind her. Never mind, dear. Just finish your breakfast, and I'll clean up once you're done. I swallow my mouth full of food and flash her a grin, which she returns. Oops, did I miss something? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. After I finish my breakfast, I shower and change into clean clothes. I still have plenty of time to spare, so I decided to go for a walk. What a beautiful morning. The sun's out, it's not too warm yet, and if Grandpa is right, a new shipment of books is supposed to arrive today at the bookstore. Finally, I'm gonna get my hands on some new issues of my favorite manga. It's hard being isolated here in Minasato. I've learned that the bookstore here has a delayed shipment, getting new copies anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks later than the rest of Japan. So painful. I frown to myself as I think to my friends. At least I'll have my old bookstore to go to when I get back to Osaka. These guys are stuck with what they have. Mr. Nishimura? Oh! I'm scared half to death when a familiar face runs up from behind and stops in front of me. Sasaro! I clench my chest as Holly's surprises lately can't be cut from my heart. What you up to? The lion doesn't seem to notice the lack of my using his nickname. Oh! I finally calmed down enough to voice a coherent response. I was on my way to the bookstore. I heard they got a new shipment today. You are? That's where I'm heading too. My eyes widen and I look at him in excitement. Really? What are you gonna get? I want to get a new manga. No kidding, that's exactly what I'm going for. Huh, I didn't expect to have something like this in common with Taro. That's pretty cool to find out. What ones do you like? I'm a big fan of One Piece. I've been following it since it started. Please don't laugh at the next one. I nod and give him a small smile. I promise. The lion's face stains a faint pink, and he rubs the back of his head. I also like Ranma 1/2 or half. He likes Ranma 1/2 too? And here I was thinking I was the only one. I can't let him know it's one of my favorites though. It's kinda embarrassing. Especially considering its target audience. Oh, yeah, it is pretty good. But it's not the best. Before we know it, we find ourselves walking into the air-conditioned bookstore. Well, what's your favorite, Mr. Nishimura? Huh? Well... Trass. I knew he was gonna... Oh. I knew he was gonna ask that eventually. Maybe I'll... Wait a second. Is that Konosuke over there? Standing in the manga corner of the store is a familiar Tanuki with his face buried in a magazine. Hey! Konosuke! I try waving to get his attention, but like usual, he's in his own world. Figures. I look back at Taro, who's giving me a confused look. You want me to try? Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Put my hands behind his head and kick back. not like this is gonna work. Hi, Konosuke. What you reading? He walks up and taps Konosuke on the shoulder. What? Sataro, I didn't see you there. What's up? No way. I didn't know you were into manga. Of course I am. Hiroyuki and I used to hang all the time. Oh! Yeah, now he notices me. You're here too, Hiroyuki. Yep. I unfold my arms and join the others around the manga display. I bend over a bit so I can see what Konosuke is reading. Is that the new issue of Jump? Well, as new as Minasato's gonna get, at least. Uh-huh. There's a new storyline about to start in the Ryu Panic. And Ryu Panic, yeah. Blah. Is the next part to One Piece in there? He gets really excited when he mentions the name of his favorite manga. But you actually like One Piece? This series is so lame. How many chapters are there now? Keeps going and going and going. I snicker quietly to myself. I mean, I enjoy One Piece, but Konosuke has a point. It doesn't seem like it's ever gonna be there's ever gonna be an end. From what I heard, there's actually the ending. I think it's currently in the last arc or something. I'm not like I don't read the manga myself, but like I actually am starting to like dive into the anime finally. It's gonna be a long trip, but you know I'll get there. But from what I'm hearing, I think it's in the last arc right now, so or soon enough. So we'll actually see an end pretty soon. You should start reading a real series. He browses around before grabbing something off the shelf. Like Death Note. On the cover, I see an orange-haired fox boy standing back to back with a hunched-over, dark-haired cat with sullen eyes. In the background, there's an evil-looking demon looming over the two. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Konosuke and I used to read that all the time when I still lived here. Really? Death Note? I tried reading that one time. I found it way too pretentious for my taste. That's true. It kind of went off the rails there near the end. Whoa, what? You take that back. You take that back, Tono. I can't help it. That's the way I feel. Nuh-uh. No way. This has to be settled right here. Hiroyuki. Great. I was hoping I wouldn't get drawn into this argument. My friends seem to like putting me on the spot, don't they? You're a manga fan too. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you think is better? So, I guess if I'm going to be honest, I think okay, Death Note is pretty awesome, but I do agree. Like towards the end, it got kind of dumb. One Piece I just started getting into, and so far I'm enjoying myself. But like, I do think that there's probably from what I heard, there's not a lot of filler. It's just a lot of different like arcs and just different places they go. You know what? I'm gonna be the contrarian in this argument and just say both are bad. So, because to be fair, One Piece and Death Note are neither of them are my favorite. So, yeah, I'm gonna say neither. They look at me, expecting an answer. You know what? They want an answer. They'll get an answer. They both suck. What? Mr. Nishimura? I shake my head in disgust at the pathetic excuses they have for favorite manga. Oh my gosh, Yurika's just gonna be a prick, isn't he? One Piece is the most dull, drawn-out pieces of garbage I've ever had the misfortune to read. Ah, does the thing even have a plot anymore? Did it ever have a plot? I turn my attention to Konosuke. And you? My hand cuts through the air in front of me. Stop acting like Death Note is the greatest thing ever. I hate to break it to you, but it has flaws. Ever notice how inconsistent the art is? I swear, Kira changes facial features every other panel. Oof. And don't get me started on the pacing. I mean, holy crap. It's like the author had never studied a shred of literature in his life. You can't just kill off one of the main characters halfway through and expect everything to work out. I paused for a moment, if only to take a breath. Oh, and those idiots that replaced him. What the heck? Konosuke winces and stares down at the floor. Okay, we get the point. I steadied my breathing. I guess I got more worked up about it than I thought I would. Honestly, though, that felt good. Well, since you're such an expert on quality manga, let's see what you think is the best. I smile at them as I walk up to the shelf and start looking around. Isn't it obvious? The greatest manga ever written has to be this. I hold the book in the air triumphantly. Hello, Kitty. Wow. Nice one, Hiroyuki. You really had me going there. Huh? But I was being serious. My face goes red as the two laugh at me. Defeated, I put the book back and leave the store in a hurry. I could still hear them laughing at me from outside. With a sigh, I shake my head and walk aimlessly around town. Alright, so I know this is going to be another section of the day, so I think I'm going to stop here before it goes a little too long. So I'm going to stop here for now, and oh my god, I'm so glad I picked neither, honestly. I know that, like, sometimes you have to pick a side to get more points for, like, towards one route, but then again, I've been picking Tatsuki. I picked Tatsuki, so, like, so I'm going to focus more on his route. But, like, that's so good. I love the manga thing and just how, like, yeah, honestly, the funny thing is I actually like both Death Note and One Piece. Never, obviously, still pretty not. I'm still not that far on One Piece, but like it is a very long shonen, and yeah, but like yeah, no, like it is. But I do enjoy it so far, and Death Note's also very enjoyable, at least to a certain point. So yeah, like but of course, you know, I think my favorite anime slash manga would be like other stuff. I'm like super into like well, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna like sound super pretentious, but like I'm actually a huge like I'm super into like Serial Experiments Lane. Never read the manga if there's a manga source for it, but I've watched the show, and I've watched some of the gameplay of the PS1 game. Yeah, so you guys can laugh at me in the comments. But anyways, and I also enjoyed the beach event. I actually was expecting it to be longer, which is why I was like, that's why I kind of skipped the intro. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna, just get the beach event out of the way. But no, the beach event actually was pretty short. I was expecting it to be a bit longer, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. Um, yeah, and with the Tatsuki, oh my gosh, like I'm ready for the heart to heart talk with Tatsuki about his sake, uh, his abuse of sake. Because I'm sure it's going to be a really tough moment. I did play. I'm not going to say anything, but I did play uh, the revisited, like just regular Morenatsu Revisited, and I know that there was actually the confrontation happened earlier and all that, and like I'm not going to say anything what happened there, but man, that's gonna hit hard. I can already feel it. But anyways, guys, next time we're gonna continue through August 9th. I believe the latest build went to August 10th, so we'll actually be coming to a close on the demo for now. So until then, guys, see you later.